to a Sunday slot for now, so we're going to go ahead and give Melty Blood type Lumina a try instead. Now, obviously, I definitely have not been playing Noida all week instead of working on my maid combos, but just to prove to you that I have definitely not been slacking off, we're going to start with ladding a few maid combos before we get into anything important. Oh, funny. Random Select gave us ourselves for a training dummy. Audio appears to be good. All systems nominal. Now, the biggest issue I had last stream was I couldn't even remember most of the main stuff that I'm supposed to be doing with these characters. A lot of combo routes might be able to go into the same combos, given that the cancel system in this game is a lot more freeform than the way that Guilty Gear Strive works. Blaze Warrior, welcome. Good evening. Now, I'm obviously going to have to get the muscle memory running, and it's going to be especially difficult given that while we're running two instances of the same character with similar palettes, what we're mostly wanting to get set up is a combo into a 2C, 5C. Then we go on to our ladle combo, which is going to require... It's funny, with the Maids they actually have charge combos in the middle of the rest of their nonsense. Actually, I think we go with a 5C into a 2C. There we go, that's a lot better. Now remember, we're going to want to do a single jump off of our combos, so that we can start with a cross-up after we land. I'm going to try your best not to be negative and getting upset in the fighting game, just keep trying to get better. Definitely, I'll try to set a very good example tonight. We're going to get beaten against the wall again and again, but we will sit back, relax, and try to think about how we can improve. After all, I've barely had enough chance to play this game off stream. Alright, that cancel comes out a little bit later. And I think it actually comes out way later. Right. Let's try that again. But does that require... Maybe the light button will work better for us. Huh, no, we just whiffed completely. Maybe we're not canceling it fast enough. I play on a gamepad, actually. What I have right now is a Nintendo Switch controller. Historically, I've used a Xbox 360 gamepad, one that worked for me for about 13 years until it finally actually started deteriorating. It was the wired Xbox 360 gamepad that came with my original Xbox 360. That's, to this day, the best controller I've ever had. Worked reliably up until... well, 13 years later, the stick finally started degrading after all that time. And constant use. That's supposed to combo. We're going to need to get that down before we start doing anything else. Maybe that comes off of a later cancel. Or we could cancel into a jump B and then go onto our combo. Ah, it's a command roll. We can't do that. The command interpretations in this game are definitely very weird. It's something a lot more mechanical that you have to understand how to get the right combos out there. Oh, right! It's not a forward jump. We do a neutral jump. That's what it is. Check this out. I think I have it. And missed the second cancel. Well, at least we know what direction we're having to practice. And no, never mind. I guess that's not how it works either. We'll have to get very creative after that, then. Or, of course, we could just stick to Kohaku the entire time. I think that might actually be better for us. It does actually give us the unblockable setups, because this attack over here, where we get Hisui to attack them with a table, that's an overhead. We also need to combine that with any low, and we get a nearly unblockable setup. Go ahead, get a throw, set up a tree. And we'll need to practice our Kohaku bread and butter, of course, as well. That one, I know, requires a neutral jump. What we're wanting to mostly end up with is a 236C, which is the attack I just did. This one, no matter how far into a combo you are, will always result in that crumple. It gives you an excellent chance, after you spend some meter, to set up your tree, which is the most important part of our game plan. Now what we're going to need to do there, I think we need to do a standing 6C after we hit the ground. That's what we're trying to set up for. Right there, after we hit the ground. The combos in this game are incredibly tight, though. I think for the most part we might be able to get by with some sort of mashing in that department. We're going to mostly want to focus on our neutral tonight. Like there. Also trying to create your own combos with Shiki. This game has a lot of freeform to it. I'm actually very happy to see it. I've also noticed that the longer combos do give you a slight damage advantage, but it's not going to be incredibly differential for you. So for the most part, it looks like once you have a couple of bread and butters down, you're mostly able to contend. That's where we're wanting to try to get a grounded 5C. 6C, that's right. Remember that, 6C after we hit the ground. And maybe a 5C on the way down. I believe so. There! That's what we're mostly wanting to set up. Can we combo that? Yes, we can! Alright. So let's give that one a few goes and see if we can remember it. 6C, and then 236C. Welcome to more traditional anime fighters. Lots of air dashing, and, more importantly, very long combos to deal with. And then it's 5C. Gonna have to remember that. Alright, we almost got it, but we need to remember to do our 236 cancel earlier. Also working on not to be overthinking too much. Unfortunately, with me playing a set-play character like Maids, that's going to be my biggest issue. I'm going to have to spend the most time trying to think about the position of my second maid, as well as whatever other setups we can get going. I was trying to input it there. We'll have to be more proactive with that 236C then. Of course, we can do that. That is total 2837 damage versus 3562, which is a very significant change. But the most important part is that we need to get that 236C, which gives us enough time to set up a plan. And all the other Hisui shenanigans to go along with it. Wrong button. But that's another super we can use. With Kohaku being the goofball she is. Nope, we do not want to end with an air throw that positions us way too far. Oh, we can set up the charged one there. Hold on. I wonder if we can combo off that one. We might be able to do some plant shenanigans. We might not have enough time there. Nope, we want to hit the button after we hit the ground. Why not? We might end up just having to go into the actual game to get our neutral refreshed, because this is going to be one of the less important parts. After all, you can practice combos all day, but if your neutral suffers, then you're never actually going to get to set up those combos. There we go. And we got it! That's exactly what we're wanting to set up. But we're going to have to make sure we get that down and ready a few times. You have a problem not blocking very well in fighting games. It's difficult. And there's a lot of games that actually make it even harder on you. Melty Blood, I know, actually has better defensive techniques than a lot of other games. The crouching shield actually will parry lows and mids, and the standing one parries highs and mids, so even on defense you sort of have a 50-50 being set up. And with so many mids, you're still left with so many moves that it blocks regardless, no matter which stance you pick. Makes Oki a lot more difficult. Funny enough, There's an entire meme with this game around just row setups on Wake Up. And look at that, we got it. See if we can do it facing the other direction with Kohaku's wonderful dash animation. We'll need to remember to do our forward inputs in the other direction. Always practice your combos equally facing either direction. Almost. Set up a plan, and then we get to go to town. I think for the most part we might want to try to make sure that we're in the right mindset to be able to remember these mid-match, so after a couple more labs, we'll head right in. Of course, we could even do that, but that does only about 75% damage. Nope, too slow. Or too quick. People wonder why people manage to have 5,000 hours playing a single fighting game. With how much time you have to spend in the lab. And there we go. We'll give it a go. I think maybe the hate of active combat should definitely set us into a much more active participation in what we're doing. Blaze Warrior, just trying to learn stuff that you can about fighting games so you can get better understanding how to practice more. One of the most important things to learn is how to learn. And I've spent plenty of my younger years just labbing solo in the corner. That's actually where I have about 300 of my hours in Guilty Gear Xrd is just in the lab, alone. And that's where I actually managed to practice most of my combos, so by the time I started fighting other people online, I was prepared. Now, my neutral and approach wasn't necessarily the best, as well as my mind games suffered, but if I did actually get a hit in, I was able to get that combo going. Training waiting. Alright, maids, time to go. Our biggest issue is we have very good pressure, but we'll need to open up people. Let's go. Well, I'm going to lose, but we're going to have a good, wonderful time trying to defend at least. Luckily, we always have a chance to switch characters at the beginning. Huh, I was blocking low. Maybe there's, again, like in Guilty Gear Strive, the inability to block while landing. So that's a high. Noted. And that's a command grab. And again, Miki just can't open up anyone with the best pressure character for it. This is how every single one of our matches is going to go. So, expect us to be here a while. You're also not going to see any maid quotes for a couple of hours at the very least. We should definitely be a lot more aggressive with what our buttons are being used. Huh, excellent read. Well, he's got a read on us like a book. Nothing to learn, I suppose. Ah, excellent read. Wake up and do the command grab immediately. If anyone in the audience would actually like to do some friendlies though, let me know. Otherwise, it's mostly going to be watching me being punched against a wall for the longest time. But we'll have a better understanding of how we're supposed to defend against our enemies. We'll have a small amount of time to maybe practice one B&B between matches. I think I might actually lower those settings even more because chances are, anyone still playing this game a week later, for an niche anime fighter, they probably already know what they're doing. I mean, I'm not gonna learn anything from that matchup either, so... Alright, let's get this practiced. Oh, no. Halo. Plays Halo, only Halo, only Halo. Huh. Yeah, not the entirety of my fanbase actually plays fighting games. Well, this is finally a chance for us to, I'm going to ignore that nameplate right there. But at least we finally found someone who's on our level. Let's get going. Do I have great muscle memory? Sort of, but mostly I just need to actually have put practice into this game. Which so far I've not done. So it looks like that setup doesn't work mid-screen, which is probably something I should have known earlier. I think we might do better with some Kohaku setup tools instead of Sui. Meaning using her as the back maid. Huh, like at CT. Well, that's one more thing for us to learn. So close. I'm gonna need to get close to actually set up our combos. It looks like she's mostly set up as a zoning character. We can at least get her knocked down from over there. It's a start. Alright, run it back. Luckily, the game forces best 2 out of 3s on you. If you really want to keep going, you gotta win. You gotta have an even match. Wrong setup. Alright, I guess that's something we'll just have to shield then. And let's go. Believe in me. Thank you, Blaze Warrior. I'm trying. Now that was a shield. And we'll get them with just a little bit of a peppering from our projectiles. Let's go with this Sui instead. Get him out of that nonsense. And get our strike throw mix-up going. Alright, it's going to require a lot of brain power to get through here, but I think we'll figure it out. We're essentially trying to learn 2 characters at once. At least luckily, if we, well, decided we want to swap and learn one of them, we'll still have most of the same tools. You see, we almost got our ideal conversion there. Nice flash. And Hisui's position right there to where we can start using our projectiles. Switch off to Hisui. We'll need to practice both of them at the same time. And that's actually why I play Maids specifically, just for a lot of those setups like that, where it's a little harder to defend against. Huh, nice burst. Well, I was already setting up another offensive tool, unless that technically hits the other maid. You'll see it's not doing any damage despite the cutscene, so that might technically have not— okay, there we go. Wonder why it takes all that time to do actually any damage. Wrong button again. Guess that should have been a time to burst instead. And there we go. Still so much to learn. Mostly the neutral. Seems the neutral compared to the old Melty Blood has a lot more just running around and swinging. The first one seemed to have a bit more footsies, but then again, I was never particularly experienced in it. So we have a lot that we have to learn here. Alright, we might start trying to do that setup instead. Right, charge, and then try jump C, 2C, jump 2C. I mean, with a win ratio of 57%, they're obviously going to destroy us. Someone who at least knows what they're doing so far. Alright. Never give up. Exactly those words. Well, you know the combos at least. Nope, nothing there either. Throws are actually much weaker in this game compared to Guilty Gear Strive as well. The clash. She's got more range than us. Most of the time we're wanting to try to get in. And I think that's where we're going to be needing the majority of our set play. Haku seems to do a lot better, boss. Let's go. Again, missing our combos. The command interpreter in this game is definitely the strangest I've had in a fighting game ever. Still too far for us. Well, here we go. And I'm still not getting the commands I'm trying to get out there. That's really gonna require some practice. Tried. You know, there are holes in there. We might be able to actually just shield through a lot of this nonsense. But it really requires an understanding of the game mechanics I don't have. We might just have to spend a lot more time in the lab tonight instead. But the more tricks we see from our enemies, the more we'll be able to steal from them. So what I think I've seen quite a bit of... No, you can't cancel normals into shields, so we might have some very good defensive setups on most people. Alright, someone who's also going to be at the bottom of the barrel. But you'll have to deal with a lot of losses at the beginning of the game. That's just how it goes. Especially considering Melty is far more niche than Guilty Gear Strive was. There's going to be a lot fewer people playing it, and it's, for the most part, going to be people that have some experience with it. Very few people have this as their first Melty blend. Alright. I was blocking low. I'm still blocking low. Is that unblockable, or? I mean, that's something that will probably require a bit more game knowledge then. Looks like our normals are mostly for combos, not necessarily for neutral. Alright, let's get it going. Alright, so he can always punish that one with a shield. Or he can follow up with a shield after that. I think next time we'll try to go in straight for a grab instead. After just one win. I mean, everyone else has at least gotten a rematch. Alright. Sword maid fetish, he says. And he's playing Kohaku, of course. Maybe it would be nice to actually try to pick a single maid character instead for a little bit. They'll share mostly the same moveset. Well, send history off here then. And again, trying to do something completely different from what it gives me. Well, there we go, certain do. We also can't really convert off of anything. That's gonna be our biggest problem. You'll see we occasionally get a stray hit in there. Really, it should depend on a lot more just plain button mashing. Ah, you can shield the burst. Interesting. So that's interesting. Her set play actually gets destroyed when she's hit. There, we got one. I think Kohaku definitely works better for a point character, though. Almost. And again, trying to set up high. It's still not accepting my attempts to do Hisui setups. So yeah, the button interpretation is definitely among the weirdest I've seen so far. I think we might actually have to sit down in the lab and try to figure out just what the heck is going on there. Right, I think we're not allowed to actually negative edge in this game. Normally you're able to get a special input out with a button release, but in this game, maybe not. Funny how many throw setups we got out there. Wrong button. Come on, we're so close. Ah, so close. I was hoping we could have gotten a head recovery from that. To think. Guess that's not a reversal. Again? It seems to be completely interpreting the wrong button. I'm trying to do a Hisui setup off that, and not just a neutral 5C. Hold on, let's practice that a bit. Let's get out of that queue, we need to see what's going on there. At least French Bread always gets their UI right. The music is exceptional too. Loading screens are also going to be quick given how little this computer takes to work. Or this game would take to work on a modern computer. Alright, so we are wanting to check the input on have I tried Saber? I have a little bit, and I'm definitely not interested in her. let's see, who are the characters I do have an interest in? It'd mostly be either the maid characters played individually or as a group, or row-up, probably. I don't have much of a fondness for most of the Melty Blood characters in the first place. Who was it that I played in the first game? Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I think in the first game there's actually a character I played there that didn't make it to this one. So, set up. It works there! I wonder if that's a symptom of rollback. Oh well. Let's see, what are we trying to do with Hisui? What set play do we need to remember? Get a throw, set up plant. And that's going to be mostly the same. I think that's actually a little slower. It seems they actually stand up before the plant starts attacking, so that's not necessarily safe of these enemies. We'll give it a try. But it's working there. It might actually be a symptom of the rollback netcode. I have heard some complaints that the rollback netcode wasn't necessarily working too well for a lot of folk. It's a bit of a thin area, but... Alright, we'll stick in the training room for a little bit more. Once we actually know what we're doing, we can add on the proper channel branding onto our username in-game. Alright. We've got to learn what we're doing. I must confess, I don't really care about Fate, and consequently I don't really care about Saber as a character either. Nice bonus that she's in, but I really don't care, honestly. I need to remember that my neutral also is going away. This is a character with about 2,000 set play tools, but nothing else. Alright, let's return it back to neutral where I'm losing again. And again, the command interpreter definitely isn't working. Maybe the dead sounds are different in this game than other games, but I'm trying to do some other inputs than just 5C and get bodied. Alright, keep it going.
お仕事お仕事。オープンユアマジン登場。あとよろしく。あなたをリベンジです。困ります。ひざまずけての。さすがにはよやればいいでしょ。あなたを止めます。危ないと。うんです。した。ねえ、オーバーできます。まだまだ。さすがに失礼。
We'll need to actually convert off that because we do hit with it very often, but we don't actually follow up to it.
あなたをリベンジ。腕まくり何かお待ちください。参ります。よいしょ。
Again, not the setup I'm trying to get. This is definitely needing some work. Destroy Noel so I don't have to hear it anymore. And that still doesn't give us a conversion. And we're dead. Let's keep it going. You know, I think actually we might want to go ahead and try Solo Husui or Solo Kohaku. That would actually let us familiarize ourselves with most of their one of their movesets first, before we move on to something a bit more complex.
Select your character. Select your character.
Go ahead and switch to Solo Kohaku for now. Luckily, the puppet character in this game is made out of two of the existing characters. That's actually how the old Melty Blood did a lot of their character setups. There are about 5 puppet characters that were just made out of different existing ones. None of them had a dedicated single puppet character that was just that setup. I think we'll go with default for now. Later, we should definitely set up the proper Xander palette. Now there is something I want to try that I have seen. That's going to require a certain setup though. Yeah, might as well. We don't even have any of our other setups to be doing so. Nice teleport. And how about a cross-up on Wake Up? A little bit better for a start, because we're not trying to do our silliest setups. Alright, we will need to definitely remember to always get the sweep off that, because it's very hard to get our conversions otherwise. We've already gone down to D from our losses so far. We might be better off doing solo maids until we understand their normals. Then we might actually be able to convert to playing them both at once. So close. Should have actually had something on the setup there instead. And that's non-blockable. I wonder if you can shield that. Maybe not. Well, that's invincible. We're doing a little bit better though, at least having to focus on a lot less at the same time. Kohaku is more of the set play of the two though. Hisui is better neutral given that she has a lot more projectiles to utilize, so Hisui might have been a better choice for us to pick first. And again, still don't really know what to do about that. And missed. Alright, we'll figure this out. Oh, missed his throw, but he did get the proper read. And let's go. Nope. You're not bursting out of that one. Again, we really need to work on that one. And once we get back up... Ah, well, he still hit us. Or still missed him. Nice setup. I know that one's actually unshieldable and unblockable if you charge it for a little bit, so we'll need to watch out for that setup. A nice set, though. We are definitely doing a little bit better with just Kohaku. Mostly because we're not trying to focus on our maid setups. And then it's... I wonder what our meter list combos are. It's gonna be hard for us to not have meter for that case, but we'll definitely want to be prepared for when that happens. Alright, let it rip again. I'm getting a lot of audio stuttering. How's your connection? And there's the flash kick. That audio stutter is terrible. You know, I might not actually go back since it is having a lot of rollback right now, I'm noticing. Yeah, the rollback's pretty bad here. Do we get a reading on what our ping is? Because it's definitely not good enough. Alright, get me out of this corner. Yeah, you hear that rollback. I don't think I'm gonna do that one again. Alright, give it another shot. But the most important part is we are learning. You know, I might actually want to pull up their guides. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up the combo notation so we can get a better idea of Who's supposed to do what? Wait, let's get into it. Someone who's going to absolutely destroy us, I see. Oh great, another Miyako. Oh, there's the 50-50. Does everyone else have a DP in this game? Is that plus? I guess so. Alright, our meaty still definitely needs some work. Only one way to get things going. And missed. Would have been perfect otherwise. Nice throw. Darn. I was hoping we actually would have had a burst point in there. The thing about the burst in this game is you can't do it while you're being comboed, only in neutral. But most anime fighters with such huge combos definitely do need some sort of a burst. Nice weight. We are getting better though. Marginally. Little by little. Player match. Looks like after an entire set is complete and ranked, you can actually go into casuals versus your opponent. Maybe once I start knowing what I'm doing, we'll be able to get a few of those out of there. We definitely don't want to keep ending with air throws, though. Kohaku's air throw is one of the worst combo finishers you can have. Oh wait, it's that Noelle again. Oh well. Suppose we'll have to deal with learning these sorts of matchups. Someone with a horrible connection. Like that. Huh. Funny that that looked like that. I tried to grab, but I guess that's what the cancel does for you instead. Oh, well, that's what we get for bursting in the corner like that. Our biggest issue is we don't have hit confirms going yet. Dashes are also really weird. If I never have to hear Noelle's weird noises again. Fine enough. We'll figure it out. Now, let's look up some combo notation to let us know what we can do for our bread and butters. I'm going to guess that if there's a combo that works for the Maids version, it's going to work for both of them. Alright. Someone with admirable tenacity similar to ours. An excellent learning opportunity for both of us. Don't want that. Excellent tenacity. Lots of shielding on Wake Up. We'll both figure it out. You and me, Breathtaking, we're going to actually figure out how to play this darn game.
ル様に楽しませてくれるマジックサーキットファイト目障りそれハードですサウター消えちゃうへっちゃらでハードです消えちゃうそりゃ逃がしましょうこれハードですそりゃ行くわよへっちゃらですよハードです消えちゃうどうほら危ないよライファー鳥にへっちゃらはっやられましたまだまだハードです行くわよ
Oh, that's unblockable. Or an overhead at the very least. And we die for that. Or not. Close enough.
マジックサーキットまだいけるファイトこれものようですよっかやっちゃうぞこれえっちゃらこちらでこっち頑張っていいわやったこれそうねえっちゃ飛ばしてあげるいいわこっち頑張っていいわこれほら危ないあちらだやおかわりたまにはね目障りへっちゃらです軽い頑張っていいわ無駄よ頑張って試合よ軽い目障り逃がし燃え尽きろ見つけそれこっちに砕けほら
Almost. Nice. Got the low off of that. That's a DP. Interesting. Right, I don't have a charged 5C on the ground, only in the air. Oh, that has armor. You'll see how frequently we're missing our combos. And eating a loss for it. So when we get the side switch counter off of A shield, we might be able to follow up with some of our A normals instead. We'll see what we can do about that. Oh, whoops, what's going on here? Is it? Don't tell me it's crashing. I think it's crashing. Yep, it crashed. Can't catch a break now, can we? Come on. It's not even letting me end it. There we go. Let it run and skip through all that. I think I actually forgot to set one. Oh, wait, not gallery. Option. Display settings, and well, that's actually one big change we should have made a long time ago. Make that a full window at the proper resolution. No, it didn't save it. You gotta hit, that's right, you gotta hit the actual buttons on them. There we go. I think now we might actually have fewer crashes, because I know sometimes I try to check these streams themselves, and that might actually cause a crash. I think this is what's going on. Alright. Back to the old grind. Ah, didn't even save our settings. Look at more of our combo notation here, and we might have a better perspective on what we're supposed to be doing. Wow, would you look at that? Barely anyone is playing Hisui. I think for our next Melty Blood stream, if I haven't had enough time to lab otherwise, it might just be a solo Hisui stream. Wow, that's a terrible connection as well. Ah, nice one. We should have actually just punished that. That 2-1-4C in the air. And we get our perfect setup. Except she has shield for that. Excellent. No shield for you. And here we go. Dashing. Suppose that's as good of a technique as any, in this game at least. Well, you got the heat parry. And therefore, I'm dead. Or not. Now I'm dead. Should have run up and thrown. We know this person is Perry happy, so we'll have to play around that. Ah! Low shield. Perfect. You got the follow-up. I didn't. Tried to hit a different button. Tried actually going into the hair dash. But once we get better at our actual setups, we'll know which buttons to press at the right times. And still not accepting my inputs. The rollback is horrible here. You see that stuttering, right? Can't read what the heck's going on. Alright. How are things going with you, Blaze Warrior? Still mostly on Shiki setups? I really need to just sit around to do my homework. Professor's been giving out too much of that, but he hasn't been taking in his own responsibilities. Definitely have a lot of Kohaku combos we need to work on. Instead, let's go to the training league. Glad they put that in stride. It's doing a lot of work for all the other fighting games. In sort of a follow the leader fashion, we have a lot of Strive successes transferring over into other fighting games. I don't know if they actually had rollback netcode planned in from the beginning, but that was definitely the talk for about the past couple of years. As Strive was coming around, everyone was talking about how much they needed rollback netcode, which it seems everyone's willing to follow up with it now. I'm idiot, he says. Playing the grappler, of course.
笑い話で済むな
オープンユアマジックサーキットファイト逃がさそうや
失敗だぞ
大盤振る舞いです
吐き出せ脆い
まだまだやられましたまだまだですカウンターやよいしょカッキーそうやれやこっちです
行くぞ
そうやれや下です
失敗だぞ
やってやや
吐き出せ
そうや危ないよ大放出だや
行くぞ
Not quite. Or, yes. Alright, maybe we don't actually have a burst option just off of the universe.
見えているぞ
ファイトよ
行くぞ行くぞ行くぞ
私が育てましたダッシュやられましたえっちゃらですよそりゃ逃がしか
やるな
見えた気にしてごめんそりゃやられました危ないよ派手に楽しくいきますよそりゃしたで
やるのか
そりゃ
軽い
えっちゃらでお注射です頑張って
And with the usual setups.
バーンユアマジックサーキットファイトカウンターバレだそうやカウンターおだわやられましたまだまだやられましたまだまだです
And we're going to die. That was a frame trap. Alright, run it by again.
えっちゃらガードですやられましたまだまだ
Alright, so it slows on wake up every time.
切りましたやられましたカウンターお注射です私が育てますやこっちカウンター KO 容赦のない仕打ち
8分
ターンユアマジックサーキットファイトそこがバレてますカウンターおかわりでおやおややられましたえっちゃらやられました
I tried for my own grab
まだ
there.
まだです大盤振る舞いですよっさあやしかないですやられましたえっちゃらこんなバカな
終わりだ息のあるうちに言葉を残せ
Definitely worth a look at the system mechanics in this game. There's a lot of things I just fundamentally don't understand so far. I wonder if Shield actually has a... I wonder if Shield actually has a time before it's active, or does it come out frame 1? The scientist needs to do his research.
甘口ですねおかわりです危ないとおかわりです行きますよもう一度
That's not even the best one we
キ
could
ア
hope
サブ
for.
スはニューチャレンジャー
Teddy from Persona, I'd imagine, is what they're supposed to be calling themselves.
頼れるお手伝いさんただいま参上そうファイトそうやじゃあ逃がさ いいわ。やるじゃない。それ。気を出しましょう。
There we go.
私が育てました。まだまだです。やるじゃん。
He missed.
まだまだだ。
No, they got the invincibility there.
不愉快ね。
And I think that's actually Aaron blockable, which is why it might be good to use that a lot more often, especially versus jumpy opponents. Wake up, PP. Yeah. I wonder if we can do the same thing with actually a 6B plus C instead. We might not actually have to use meter to get our perfect setups that we want. Worth examining, and a lot of experimenting. Aha! Super. Air dashes are weak in this game. Hers lasts especially long. My goodness, what was that rollback? Missed my grab. That was about to be so wonderful too. And that's why you can't zone effectively in this game. Huh, I might have actually been able to set up a cactus there if I get that combo up, right? I'm just gonna use all my moves. So, if Hisui is a horrible cook, is Kohaku a horrible gardener? Because all the plants that she grows are definitely, not the most sociable. You know, I think we're finally getting the hang of it. A bit of actual experience does wonders compared to just sitting in a lab all day. But that's if you really want to get those good conversion combos. Let's look at the full list of those moves. Alright. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. She actually doesn't have that many attacks, huh? In comparison to both of them together. Alright, let's let it rock. This is a different arc. Have we even seen an Archangel in this game yet? I'm gonna need this. And I'm going to completely miss what I was trying to set up there. Huh, that burst of the cylinders. And we did it! That burst actually got us back the heat that we needed. Or, the heat got us back the health we needed. Nice throw. Maybe that was the crouching block. Needs a little bit more effort. My turn. My shield. Block high. It's not only understanding yourself, but understanding the opponent. Exactly, Kayla. You need to know what your opponent's habits are, and how to punish them. You'll notice she was shielding low a lot on Wake Up, which is why I'd always follow in with the high attack off of the tree setup. Is that an overhead or unblockable? We do DP safe setups here. I was hoping maybe, but I guess not. Readjust. And heat goes up the instant we're back. Was hoping we could have had enough time to set up an aerial attack there. Guess not. Wow, that was 2 straight wins there, though. We are getting better. Seems we've been downloaded this time. That's an overhead, obviously. And we're being destroyed. Lots of low attacks, so we'll definitely need to just run up and grab. Although I think it's over at this point. Yeah. Alright, we are definitely having an issue with the fact that we are leading with our C attacks and we aren't getting a proper setup into our usual combos. We need to always make sure that we can actually lead into that nonsense. What about a cactus setup for the moon? Ah, might as well do it again. That's an overhead. Ah, almost. Let's just do some pipeline again. I forget she has a DP. Then again, I still don't really know anything about the characters here yet. I was maybe hoping I could catch jump or something. Alright, so approach and then do a lot more throws because we are definitely needing to catch all that shield stuff. Our combos aren't really true yet because we don't know how to do our best conversions yet. So we'll need to do a lot of throws after we start winning a neutral. A throw also gets us a proper tree setup. Funny enough, I've been seeing more red arcs than regular arcs. We'll learn. And there we go. We started adapting a little bit, but we'll need a bit more work. We're definitely doing better than we started though. Slightly. But enough. Oh fuck. I wanted to do some more of that at least. Guess I hopped out of that too early. We might have ourselves a player match. Let's go ahead and try to set that up afterwards. More talking to be had once I figure out what I'm doing. So many clashes with that. Oh wow, she's smiling. And still not getting the chances in the specials I'm trying.
へっちゃらですよーだ。ほら楽しい。ほらみんなお注射です。よいしょっと。そうや冬かいな。じゃあまだ鳥になる。
That low comes out really, really quickly after that. I wonder if only the first one's an overhead.
そんなものよね。今宵の針は聞く味違いますよ。おっとよ見つけそれ。ほらそれ逃がしませんよ。そうやあよいしょ。そうややるじゃん。ここでターン。それ目障り逃がしませんよ。そうやピピそこあよいしょ。邪魔カードです。そうやおなごだよ。ピピほらフェイト私が育てました。鳥になる。そうねまだまだ楽しい。ランデブーやられました。まだまだそらこうもう一度やられました。ランデブーやられました。鳥になる。
It's so weird. I can't tell where the control stick angles are supposed to be. For between blocking low and high. Really? That didn't intercept her on the way down. So much to learn. Close. Funny how we only parried the second one. We definitely need to use a lot more of our moon attacks. We'll figure it out, so long as we keep fighting the same person. We are getting closer though, we're definitely learning their habits, and starting to adapt to it. Biggest issue we're having is dropping our combos. We need to know what we can pick someone up with once we get them into the air. Hopefully not necessarily another air combo like that. Might as well. Is it just us online right now? I mean, there's definitely more, but we're being matched up in the same region quite frequently. I'm trying to shield that.
ピピッごめんおいたがすぎます。ほらどちらですやるじゃんそれなさい邪魔容赦のない
So we can't shield out of dash. Got it. When we make our approach, it'll have to be walking, which Kohaku has a decent enough walk speed.
沈みなさいまだまだおいたそらおいたがすぎます邪魔見つけてでしょやられましたまだまだですあちらですここでターン切りましたどちらです不愉快ねダッシュ諦めませんそれやられました遅いな
That high-low mix-up just keeps getting me. It hits like 3 times, doesn't it? I don't really know when it is that I need to block low.
今宵の針は一味は違いますよファイトそれです見つそれほら見つ頑張る行くわよまだまだですマリア不愉快ね逃がしか邪魔られましたへっちゃらですよ軽い
I swear.
行くわよへっちゃらですよへっちゃらですよ不愉快ねほらそれデイタルやるじゃない目障り現代医学の犠牲者でおかえりやいいわ不愉快ねピピッササ粉々のピーチ
No grub.
だけマジでマジほら何そバイトおっとダッシュ危ない見つけたおいたすみませんカウンタートリミナー姿が行くわよまだまだ見つけた粉々ですごめんダメねお断りよどういた目障り砕く見つけ目障りほらお返しましたこちらでここであっちでしょ楽しいランデブーこんなバカなここで終わりそんなものよね
It's a learning process. We might actually go a few more rounds here. Just so we can try to figure out this one. Alright, let it rock. Funny we found one person for an actual player match this time. Well, that was a fast run. Funny how well she can close the distance like that.
派手に楽しくいきますよ。いいねでしょ。これこれピピピピペイタリ頑張ってたまには知らぬくせに粉々にしておく。行くわよ。ここでターン。シャム力の差を知りたい。ガードです。逃がしました。燃え尽きるわ。ほらピピホテイタリ頑張ってピピでしょ。楽しい。オープンユアマジックサジ
Guess it's just something we have to read.
じゃあでしょ。これそうえっちゃ行くわ。まだまだガードです。何それ目障りです。目障り行くわよ。
We're gonna have to definitely make a lot more hard callouts. Whenever it's our turn, we're going to need to start throwing. Or, you know, get perfect like that.
わ
Wow, no burst there either.
見つけた。もう諦めよう。
Oh, well, there we go.
暇つぶし。オープンユアマジックサジ何スパイクトグマほらほら鳥になほらそれ頑張っていいわ。やったら楽しい。そうまだまだやられました。そうえっちゃれガードです。えっ大一番でいいわ。そうまだまだそう鳥になランデブーレザードです。じゃあ見切りまどっちらです。
We almost got it.
小さなターンユアマジックサ何それバイ何それ目障り頑張るじゃん。えっちゃら出てどっちらです。目障り危ないバリアいいわ。それランデブーまだまだなんのはっ軽いそれ
And dead. Very dead.
Open your magic stars. こっちよ。逃がしそうや。まだまだです。どっちらです。これ
Okay, so we can't shield after that.
スケスケですよ。軽いじゃあえっちゃらで置いたね。どちらですやって鳥になそれピーチよしこらすだけターンユアマジックサーキットファイトさあ下られましたえっちゃらやられましたまだマリアほらもう諦めちゃう派手に楽しくいきますよ。たまにはね目障り星
Alright, I think we're at the point that we're not thinking anymore. Well, read the room, I suppose. Seems they, hold on, I'm still getting out of here. There we go. So, interesting set of matches. It seems there's a lot of homework to be done on my part. I'll go ahead and spend the rest of the weekend labbing. Expect a Type Lumina stream next week, definitely. I'm not sure about Nicktoon Smash. I'll see about trying to participate in a tournament, which might be showing up tomorrow. But I'll make the decision a few hours beforehand. Look out for any new streams coming up. Sunday is Guilty Gear as always, and it's mostly going to be trying to focus on fighting games for the rest of the month. I'll also be giving updates on the development for our Rivals of Aether character. And there might even be a rival stream next week too. Stay tuned. We'll see what happens. For now, class is dismissed.